OpenAI just dropped a bombshell on the tech world, and it's not a new version of ChatGPT. So today, we're going to break down their surprise entry into a market dominated by giants, the web browser. OpenAI, the company that brought us ChatGPT, has just launched a new web browser called Atlas. And if you listen to their CEO, Sam Altman, this isn't just some small update. It's a fundamental rethinking of how we use the internet. All right, let's get into it. What exactly is this thing called Atlas? So on October 21st, 2025, boom, OpenAI launches Atlas. And the whole pitch is that it's a faster, more curious way to use the web. The goal is to replace years of browser clutter, endless tabs, forgotten bookmarks, with just a simple conversation. Okay, so what actually makes this thing different from, say, Chrome or Safari? Well, Atlas is really built around three core and, frankly, game-changing features. First up, you can chat anywhere. Imagine this. You're on any web page, and with just one click, a ChatGPT sidebar pops up that already knows what you're looking at. You can ask it to summarize a long article, compare a few products, or even use something they call cursor chat to rewrite sentences right there in an email or a Google Doc. No more copy-pasting. Second, and this is where it gets kind of personal, Atlas has a built-in memory. It learns from what you do online to become a smarter, more personalized assistant. You can search your history just by asking a question, like, hey, find that recipe for chili I looked at last week. The home screen will even start suggesting things it thinks you'll find useful. And third, this is the most futuristic feature by far, agent mode. You can actually delegate multi-step tasks to the AI, and it literally takes over your cursor. It will click, type, and navigate across different websites to book a flight or order your groceries, all while you just watch. But don't worry, you're always in the driver's seat. You have to approve every single action. Okay, on the surface, this is a really impressive product, right? But here's where it gets interesting. A lot of analysts are saying these features, they're just the tip of the iceberg of a much, much larger strategy. And that brings us to the big, crucial question. Is Atlas just a better browser, or is it a Trojan horse for a much, much bigger plan? So the thinking goes like this. Atlas isn't really meant to compete with Chrome on features, head-to-head. Instead, it's the distribution channel, the delivery truck, if you will, for a massive strategic puzzle OpenAI has been putting together for a while now. And to really get what that means, we've got to peel back the layers on this whole ecosystem that OpenAI has been quietly building for the past 18 months. And what they've been building is this 5-layer stack. Think of it like a pyramid. At the bottom, you've got a workspace called Canvas. Then you layer on memory and context. Then you plug in apps to handle transactions. And then, you guessed it, Atlas, the browser, comes in as the way to deliver the top of the pyramid. These autonomous agents that go out and do things for you. And this right here, this defines the real endgame. See, OpenAI isn't just building a bunch of tools you use. They're building an entire cognitive infrastructure that you operate within. It is designed from the ground up to literally become your external brain. Okay, a $4 trillion play? That's a huge number. So how on earth do you turn this grand vision into a business? Well, it means throwing out the rulebook on how software is sold. Instead of the usual model, paying a monthly subscription fee, OpenAI is pioneering something called agentic logic. And the idea is simple, but revolutionary. They charge per completed action. Every time an AI agent books that flight or orders those groceries for you, OpenAI takes a small cut. People are already calling it an AI transaction tax. And here's why they're in such a perfect position to pull this off. Just look at these numbers. 800 million weekly active users. That's double their 5 biggest competitors combined. That is an insane head start for distribution. And that long-term vision, that's why investors have pumped so much money into OpenAI that it's now valued at a staggering $500 billion. They're making a massive bet that this world-changing plan will pay off, even if the company is losing billions a year right now. All right, so where is all of this going? This all builds towards a final and honestly pretty provocative conclusion about the future of computing itself. Just look at this timeline. The speed is absolutely breathtaking. I mean, a journey that took a company like Apple more than 15 years. OpenAI is trying to compress that into just 18 to 24 months. From a simple workspace to a full-blown agent marketplace. It's just incredible. So what's the ultimate goal here? It's to create what analysts are calling cognitive dependency. And that's a fancy way of saying it's a platform that's not just a tool you use, it becomes an essential partner in how you think and make decisions. Even Sam Altman basically said as much. And that's why this matters so much. This isn't just another browser war with Google over market share. No, no. This is a race to build the fundamental infrastructure for human cognition. It's a race to become the layer that sits between you and, well, your entire digital life. Which leaves us with one last big question. As all these pieces, the workspace, the memory, the browser, the agents, as they all snap into place, are we witnessing the birth of the next great operating system? Not an OS for your computer, but an OS for your mind?